Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Assalamu alaikum, dear students. This session focuses on epistemological basis for research in language teaching. I hope and expect that by the end of this session, you would be able to understand the epistemological grounds for research to be carried out in language teaching. Well, my dear students, it would appear that the split in applied linguistics and especially second language acquisition or SLA research between more quantitative and qualitative approaches is drawn from a distinction in educational research between positivist approaches and constructivist ones. Well, when it comes to the positivist approach, it relies on observation and reason as a means of understanding a behavior. It draws on scientific description and it looks for verifications of certain findings. In this kind of research approach, the emphasis is on quantitative research, on the empirical science and rational methods with a focus on objectivity. When it comes to positivism, it was in fact the philosophical basis for most of the quantitative research in education, according to Shank, 1993. When we move on to the constructivist view, that is the human mind had a role to play in creating an understanding of behavior and other phenomena. Well, the constructivists are concerned that a mechanistic and reductionist view of nature excluded the choice, freedom, individuality, and life experiences. So the constructivist approach includes all these aspects of freedom, of choice, of individual variances, differences, and of varied contexts of life experiences. Moreover, it was carried out dehumanizing to impose rules of behavior and thought, reducing researchers into observers set on discovering general laws governing human behavior. So the constructivists argued that the capacity for subjectivity should be regained. That is why they were against that. When it comes to anti-positivist approaches, they include phenomenology, that is the study of direct experience taken at face value, where behavior is determined by the phenomenon of experience rather than by the external, objective, or physically described, I would say, reality. It also included ethnomethodology, that is concerned with how people make sense of their everyday world, in their own context, in their everyday social interactions, in the background of their own assumptions that they make, the conventions they use, and the practices that they adopt. These are all the things that address their sense of their world, that create the picture of their world that they carry. Now, this split in approaches to research methods really fronted the issue of just what the nature of inquiry was and how to conceptualize the social reality. Well, when it comes to SLA, is SLA a reality that is external to or an independent of the collection of human learners, or is it something that can only be understood through the lens of human beings, that is with different people constructing the world in different ways? This is a huge question. This is a debatable question. Is SLA something that needs to be looked at something objectively, or it is something that needs to be looked at subjectively from the viewpoint of various people wearing varied lens, having different kinds of life experiences? Well, the traditional way to contrast qualitative and quantitative approaches to research is by providing descriptions for the two, such as the one by Larsen-Freeman and Long, 1991, and that is also echoed in the works of Lazaraton. Well, when it comes to the quantitative research, it is controlled, experimental, objective, inferential, it is outcome-oriented, it is reliable, it is particularistic, it is hard to replicate, it is generalizable, it is an aggregate analysis of something, and above all, it is in statistical form. When we compare this with the qualitative type of research, the backgrounds of these kind of researches suggest it is more naturalistic, it is more observational, it is subjective and descriptive in nature, it is process-oriented, it is holistic in nature, it is valid, real, and it has a rich and deep data which is ungeneralizable. The findings of qualitative research cannot be applied to another situation. These are more like single case analyses, and they are more given in the narrative forms. They are not presented in the statistical form.